think that was on the 202.
All right, guys. Holy Moses here in the Lay Frame compound. And we are here in the building.
Damn.
And I want to welcome my friend, Mr. Johnny Jello. Thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, brother. Thanks for having me.
He's a local comedian, but he's also in the cars. He's a gearhead at heart.
That's right.
And like many people, tonight's episode is custom cars and comedy. Because I don't need Jerry Seinfeld to fucking come after me and be like, why is he having the same name?
Why did he name it the same?
Yeah. So, Johnny, thank you for coming on. Tell us a little about yourself and tell us what actually got you into influencing and get you in the cars.
Shit, man. I mean, I came here because you swiped right.
Yes, I did.
And
you were hot. I was like, dang, that guy looks good. Like, that's what we need here.
I mean, I saw some big old titties, so I was like, hey, man,
there you go.
We're going to make this happen tonight. And it's going to be real good. And then I show up and there's this mofo right here. Threw me off with the red glasses. No, I'm originally from New York. I was born in 85, raised through the 90s, all through my life.
84 here.
Yeah, man. 80s. That's what you got.
That was the best, dude. Like,
it was, man.
It
was a different time, man. Back in the 80s and 90s, remember when people could actually afford to be broke?
Yeah.
Because right now, this shit ain't working.
Groceries didn't cost that much.
No,
man. Hot Wheels were the shit.
Bro.
And riding your bike was like everything.
Yeah, that was my hog right there.
Yeah, shit. That was like everybody in the mini truck world and everybody who has had a custom car. It's always like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you start off with as a bicycle. Then you custom your bike. And then after that, you know, you just start, the music influences you, and then you just start building stuff. And then slowly but surely, you get a car and you start getting the freedom to fucking drive.
That's it. And somebody told me growing up would actually be awesome, and they lied.
Right?
I know. I didn't know about all this taxes and raising kids and all this bullshit now.
So cars, when you got into it growing up, what influenced you, man? Like, what got into it?
I think it was mostly my pops, man. Rest his soul. He was always a jack of all trades in our family. I mean, he was a general contractor for one, but vehicles was always a passion of his. He was always underneath some type of vehicle, man. I grew up with, I mean, my mom had like a Chevelle, 70 Chevelle, a Cutlass. At one point, we had two different Cadillac Eldorados.
Oh, those were the shit.
Oh, dude. Land yacht on wheels, man.
Yeah. So you what up, yo?
Boys?
Well, fucking
what
Chris.
Up,
that's the bearded beauty is not here with us. He's on call. But he is with us
in spirit.
Tuning in. So
right here.
He's tuning in.
My left titty.
Yeah. So damn, dude, like you just pretty much your pops, and then what? Did you guys just wrench on shit throughout life, or like
was it something? Wrenching on shit? No, it was more. I was the designated tool bitch. Which, as a
everybody
kid, you don't appreciate, right?
Yeah.
But now, like when I get, you know, my friends that wrench on some shit, and they're like, "Yo, I need like a 5/8." I'm like, "Bullshit, that's a 1/2 inch." And they'd be like, "Nah," and then I grab them that 1/2 inch, and then they're like, "Fuck, how'd you know that?" I'm like, "Dude, by sight."
Yeah, because that's how
it's just a skill that doesn't leave you.
No.
So, but yeah, and my older brother, he's 6 years older than me. So he was always helping my dad wrenching on shit. You know, he always had fucking Hulk strength. So again, designated tool bitch.
Yeah, but being a tool bitch ain't bad.
No, I enjoyed it because after a while, like, it was always good to have another pair of eyes, right? Like growing up, even into my teenage years, we'd be outside wrenching until 2, 3, 4 in the morning, quietly, of course, not to upset the neighbors. Yeah. But there'd be times where like people are getting woozy, they're getting tired, you know, droopy eyed.
All-nighters, yeah.
Yeah, and people were like, "Hey man, I think I need this wrench." And I'd be like, "No, you need that one." And then
there's always been
sharpen the skills.
Yeah, there's always been some times like where people don't realize, like, you know, like your parents are a big influence. My dad was a big influence, like yours and, you know, your brothers. And, you know, like, what was your first car, man?
My own first personal vehicle was a 72 Nova. We actually got it from a guy. My brother and my pops went out, met up with this dude. He was trying to sell it for like $3,500. The guy was going through a bankruptcy. Long story short, my dad talks this guy down to $1,000.
That's not bad.
Because this guy, he slapped this freaking thing together. He wanted it to be a 1/4 mile track star. it needed a lot of work.
So it was like a quarter-mile horse star. It wasn't even.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
even...
it was a warmed up 350 that was in it. Nice motor. Had a little RV cam in it, a little bit of head work. Had a nice 4-barrel vacuum secondary on there, a Holley system. And he had a 3-speed Saginaw. It was originally a 3 on the tree car.
Oh, and he swapped it to
the floor. And
yeah, because
those were the original. No, those were the original H shifters, man. And then so like you had first, over, down, you know, and then you had to go up, over, second. And if you fucked up, you would get the 2 linkages mixed up with that little pin in the middle.
And
you'd be fucking.
And all you would hear would be like.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize, like,
no, you can't just diagonal shot it, man. You actually got to go up, over, boom.
And that's why manual, like, that's why a lot of people don't realize, like, they don't have manual transmissions now because the amount of work and the amount of abuse that people would put into a manual is way harder, like in an automatic. Now people abuse the shit out of automatics.
Oh yeah,
like bad. Like I feel bad for anybody that drives a '95 Tahoe and above, you know, because those things are so clapped out, like horrifically. You know, the transmissions.
Yeah, but that was my first car, man. I had it. As a matter of fact, rest its soul, I didn't even get to wreck my own first vehicle.
Really?
Everybody's supposed to have the chance to. You're supposed to blow your shit up, your first one. I didn't even get the chance to do that. Instead, somebody else smacked me from behind.
That sucks.
It was a sad story, man. I'm like 19 years old. And this is now the 20th anniversary of when this happened. I'm cruising, you know, and the car at this point, I've had it for about 8 months. The thing is running beautifully. I mean, my dad and I really started, my brother, all 3 of us collaborated. I started throwing money at it because at the time I'm working for a local shop. I'm making okay money. All my paychecks went into this car to seal up leaks and all the stupid shit that this dumbass we bought it from. You throw it at it, right? So this thing, I mean, I was having fun this day. I wasn't rowdy with it this day, but I was enjoying the cool air. You know, I was enjoying the fact that the car just ran good. It sounded good. Everything was just in perfect, harmonious sync with the universe. I'm going for work. I'm transferring to another store for the day. And sure enough, in front of me, I see this taxi stop way short because somebody runs a red across. I'm like, oh, shit. Now, again, this is an old 70s car. You're either pumping brakes or you're sliding because there is no ABS. There is no anti-lock braking system.
It's just straight shot. Just like
it's called all brakes separately. That's the ABS we had back in the 70s. So, you know, I luckily you know, put the transmission back and forth. I popped off the clutch, so it's slowing me down. I'm pumping the brakes as well. I stopped short, and I'm like, sweet, man. I made it. I didn't hit nobody. But then my brain had this thought, what about the guy behind me? Soon as that thought processed, boom! And the fucking car went underneath. He had a Chrysler Concorde. Shit went underneath my car like this.
Oh, shit.
They had to call Shamrock Towing. If y'all are still in business, thank you.
Yeah, they are. They still in business.
Yeah, I believe it because they're like the biggest dudes in Phoenix. They had to call the big motherfucker with the crane
just to get the car.
Lift my goddamn car off of his. Oh, man, that was a sad day. Damn. And it was some dude. You know what? Okay, so hindsight's 20/20. I was really pissed at first because it was some dude that didn't speak a lick of English that hit me. He had 2 passengers in the seat. My rear driver's side or passenger side tire went through his windshield.
What the fuck?
They had this baby up front that some chick was holding, right?
Holy shit.
What up, Derek?
What up, Derek?
And yeah, it almost killed her. Come to find out, this dude was wanted for murder in Nogales.
Damn. Look at
so
that.
So I caught a predator, bro.
That's crazy. You over there solving crimes.
Sacrificed my goddamn car like I was Iron Man.
Solving crimes by one car accident at a time.
It wasn't Batman. It was Fat Man that saved the day.
There was no such thing as what the fuck was it? Mayhem from Allstate. It was fucking man. Jello from himself.
It was Jello with State Farm.
Yeah,
bro.
That's it. He wore his khakis,
with
not tonight. Yeah, with the general of insurance. Hey, at least you got Shaquille O'Neal.
Hey, man, that's true. He also bought a ring a while back.
Yeah, I had shitty ass insurance.
That dude's got some fucking money, man. He made $700 million just from basketball.
Yeah, and then he still makes a shitload of shoes.
He just makes shoes.
He makes a shitload of shoes every fucking like day. And all because of that one lady that screamed at him.
Hey, whatever.
But dude, with the cars that you've had throughout your, throughout growing up and stuff,
Right.
What's one car you regret that you were like, damn, dude, I shouldn't have got rid of that, or man, I should have just fucking kept it somehow?
Well, I mean, my Nova number one. I wish I still had it. It's been 20 years, and there's not a day I don't go by without thinking about it. And don't get me wrong, it was 6 different colors of primer.
That's
I mean,
okay.
That's
under
before
construction.
patina was a thing, by the way. Before
Yeah.
it was like popular.
Oh, dude.
If I would have had that damn car today, everybody would be like, "Yo, I'll give you 80 grand for that piece of shit." You know?
Yeah. Well, no, for real. People don't realize, like, yeah, right now, like, right now it's like C10s and a lot of fucking like, older classics, some big bodies. Some
Oh
Cs,
yeah.
some some fucking Caprices.
Mm-hmm.
Some big cars. A couple Lincolns here and there. Like
Recently,
60s.
I got rid of my. You know what? I had a 2019 Ford F-150, and it had the 2.7. All right, so the EcoBoost.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was a fantastic truck for me and my family.
Yeah.
I missed that damn truck. I traded it in because my wife wanted something a little smaller.
That was
her
why. Oh, that was somebody that had a white one for sale, and the dude wanted $52K, and it was 4-door, and it was fucking laid on the floor. I think Fat Fabs did it. It was white. It was sick as fuck. It was like a Ford something. Yeah. And there was another dude. There was somebody else on Marketplace right now who's got a black Ford with red interior and a bunch of graphics done. That's been in a couple videos for sale for like, I think like 45 or 50.
See, so there's hope. I know I'm going to get another one in the future.
Yeah.
That's how much I love this truck. The other truck I had that I sold to a buddy of mine who restores classic cars, he's got a Corvette that he's restoring right now. It's like a 60s.
But it was a car that not a lot of people are like,
No, not a lot of people have it. And it was kind of an underdog. It was Dodge's underdog for, kind of like a mix between their version of almost like an Impala.
Yeah, but bet you $5. Yeah, but bet you $5 he got that thing cheap just for the fact that it's a Corvette.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The guy probably was like, all right, you really want this Corvette? Yeah, I'll fucking take it.
Yeah. He's had it for a long time too. I've known him for a while.
So what'd you sell him?
I sold him a 66 Ford F-100 long bed. And it's a custom cab. Why? As a matter of fact,
why?
I felt for the truck. It was sitting in my side.
Yeah, that's the unibody one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the unibody one.
Yeah. Oh no. Mine actually was full frame. I'm sorry.
Oh, the full frame.
They had a unibody that was a shorter bed, but mine was actually the full frame long bed. As a matter of fact, my brother and I had an idea. We were going to do what's called the Crown Hick conversion.
Oh, don't. Okay.
Chop your bed a little bit.
I know. Yeah, you chop more than that, dude. Like you literally,
you got to do a lot of.
You literally gut that car, and you have nothing left but like the frame of the Crown Vic, and then you got to make sure your body lines up because if not, you're like sectioning and channeling. My homie Ryan Payson had I think he had a unibody Ford that they put it on a Crown Vic frame.
Yeah,
it looks sick as fuck if they're done right. Like my friend Jeff Davey, he hates them. He don't like it. Him. He's not a fan of it. He like to him, it's not like
it's either that or
it's like the easy way out.
Yeah, we were gonna do that, or you could do like the Mustang 2 conversion, the front end where you hack the twin.
Yeah, that's it. The I-beams and just get
you just get. So that was another route.
That's easier.
I had some crazy ideas for the truck actually. For a while, we talked about okay, we could do a Crown Hick, do the 4.6 conversion. Okay, fine, great motor. You can make a lot of power out, especially out of a 4-valve.
Oh, definitely.
And then the other thing we were going to do is one of my buddies has a 93 7.3 crew cab. Ooh. And it's got, the 7.3 turbo diesel. Yeah. So he's like, hey, you should throw a fucking 7.3. Not many people do that conversion. Well, and it would make more power. That it wouldn't hurt itself, but you'd have plenty of towing power. It would be sick. You get good mileage.
And what you have too is you have a lot of people right now that are doing diesel swaps.
Oh
like
yeah,
Cummins,
yeah.
Swaps
a lot of Cummins swaps
in mini trucks.
We could have even done we could have done a full because it's 66. You don't have to do register for emissions.
No,
so we could have done an emissions delete 6.0. Really pushed a shit ton of power out of it.
But that's if you have an address way. If you got an address. You got an address? Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you got an address,
I may or may not reside on the northern side of Arizona.
No, what you is like me. I work out there and I have my stuff mailed down here and I come here and I work down here sometimes. Like that's what I do.
Allegedly,
that's exactly what I do.
Or may not have.
That's exactly what I do.
a residence.
No, I work out there, come down here. And
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
do.
no, I get it.
exactly.
Every day I work
Every
both
day,
places.
yeah.
You know, 8 hours there, 8 hours
Yeah.
here, 2
You
hours.
can't go wrong with a
2 hours in
5-year tag. Oh, you can't get can you get a 5-year on the car you're driving now? Which we will talk about
I think now I can because my current car is a 2013 Focus ST.
Okay, yeah, but we'll get to that.
yeah,
I just
we'll
want
get
to
to
talk
that
more about
later.
that diesel.
Oh,
that
diesel.
one that your homie was like.
I wouldn't even. Yeah, I could have gotten I wouldn't have even had to register it somewhere else. I could have registered in Phoenix. It's 66, so that's pre-emissions. We would have been fine. I could have fucking.
Well, they don't really care. So
they don't give a shit.
So when I was younger and I had a Ford Ranger, an 85 Ford Ranger, and I got a hold of a Porsche 928 and I was going to take the motor because that one's in the front. And I was going to get the motor out of it. And then my friend was like, dude, you're going to get in so much trouble. I was like, nah. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, it's a motor swap.
It depends. It depends on the years because they do equipment
Yeah,
checks.
the smog check.
Canister and all that bullshit.
So I went to the emissions place in Surprise and I go, hey, man, I got 85 Ford Ranger and I'm going to I'm getting a 86 928. And he goes, Porsche? I was like, yeah. And he goes, is it going to have everything on there? I was like, yeah, I'm just motor swapping, putting everything that goes with that Porsche into the fucking thing. And he goes, yeah, as long as you got all the shit that's going to go for the emissions.
Fuck.
He goes, as long
he
literally goes, as long as you got the shit that goes for the emissions for that car, you're good to go. So I'm like, that's it. He's like, yeah. He goes, we don't care. He goes, we don't care what you stuff in it, as long as you have the emissions stuff that goes with that motor for your custom vehicle. He goes, you're fine. I'm like,
nice,
cool, good to know. So if you have any custom vehicle, just remember, just make sure you fucking got all the smog shit, you know. Or unless you're lucky and you have an address or you live up north or, you know, you work a lot up there like I do.
Find an old steel coffee canister and plug 2 nipple holes in it and remove the Folgers label
inside, yeah, and then,
that will qualify as a smog canister.
Definitely
may or may not. Allegedly,
in a
this
rat
is not
rod.
Legal advice.
In a rat rod, yeah, in a rat rod, you can make that as a fucking charcoal canister, bro.
Or a rat rod, or maybe like an '86 Dodge Ram 1500 panel van.
Oh shit!
Because we used to have one of those.
I know, and that's what
with
you
a 318 and a Dana 60 rear. Okay?
Oh shit!
We had the hookup.
So what was that like the car that you guys had for a little bit?
That was the family G-Wagon
for
a long time, dude. We didn't have a minivan. We had a van.
Did you guys ever fight for that thing? Like when you guys were younger, be like, oh man, I can't wait to drive it.
I actually almost wound up with that. When my Nova got wrecked, before I got the 66 pickup after that Nova, that van was almost a reality. The only thing that held us behind with it was the engine probably had close to 300,000 to 400,000 miles on it. It was worked.
Oh shit!
It needed a full rebuild.
So like
rings, the whole bit.
Yeah, I need a whole rebuild.
The other problem was my dad and I and my brother, we had just put a new. Those things were notorious for blowing freaking U-joints and everything else. We had just gotten a new drive shaft and everything. Dodge U-joints. Every 6 months, you pop.
Remember the Ram Charger?
Oh yeah.
Ram Charger always had that problem. Yeah. And then the 4x4 one, the transfer case always.
They wound up making fixes later on for them, but I mean,
it was always the transfer case that would go out on those 4x4s.
It'd be something fucked up.
You know, half the time those things were fucking fucking taken out whenever you found one out of the 4x4.
Well, the thing that got screwed up was there was a really big oversight that my dad always kicked himself in the ass for afterwards. Was there was a motor mount that had gone completely see you later, and my mom was going to work one morning and she hit the gas on the freeway
and it went see you later.
Dumped it from overdrive down a gear, and then the transmission went. Oh,
see
for
you
fuck's
later.
sake. Yeah.
I'll see you later.
It tore the fucking bell housing. It dropped the trans, the whole fucking thing. Thank God she was alive, because if that thing could have pole vaulted on the freeway.
But it
just went bye.
Damn.
And somebody behind her had to fucking play Frogger to get away from it.
Shit.
Luckily, it had tumbled and then hit like a sidewall and everything was fine. The dust settled. The smoke didn't.
Damn, that sounds like that page what what is it? That sounds like a fucking Facebook page that said don't take your shit to Walmart.
Yeah.
And they fucking have like cars that are blown up or
Yep.
like catch fire. And I'm like, how the fuck do you make them catch fire if all you're doing is changing the oil? Like you're not doing anything real. Like you're just changing the oil, putting an air filter in it, and sending it on its way. Like how do you fuck that up?
There's a practice that they follow that my buddy.
What, set it on fire somehow?
Yeah, it was rule 6: set car on fire. Make sure you can put it back out.
You've seen that, right?
I've seen
like from Walmart to Jiffy Lube, where you're like,
I've seen some bad shit happen to a lot of good cars, man.
Yeah.
Like,
but I'm gonna make this confession. All right, I worked at a place called Fletcher's, and no, all right, Fletcher's Tire and Auto.
Yeah.
So like I worked there years ago, and I was like not even like 4 months in the getting out of automotive school from one of them,
out there, watch.
and then from one of the automotive schools, and then I was working there, and I would fucking oil changes and shit and all the shit, and one day this Cadillac comes in.
Oh, thank God.
And they're like, hey, it's in your bay. I'm like, all right, cool. And I was talking to somebody and I was fucking dropping the thing. And I fucking just in my brain, I've never touched it. Like I just unloosen it, drop it, put the new one on, and slap it back on, fucking dump oil in it and go. So I just do that and I fucking drop it. I don't fucking feel to see if the gasket's stuck still. So I take the new filter, screw it on. And I'm like, oh, cool, it's tight already. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, this is a real easy car to work on today.
Pump oil, fill it up with oil, send it on its way. All of a sudden, not even 15 minutes later, the car comes back.
It's on fucking fire, isn't it?
Oh no, it sounds like a clapped out '95 Chevy, dude.
Oh no,
it just ticking bad, and the manager comes out. What the fuck did you do? I was like, he goes, put that fucking car in your fucking bay and get it in the air. I'm like, all right. And I fucking get it in the air, and he goes, what the fuck did you do, man? I was like, no. I was like, I fucking dropped the filter out, and I fucking just he goes, did you feel it? And I was like, no.
He didn't,
because it always falls out. And he goes, no, motherfucker. He
wasn't feeling it.
So
just wasn't feeling it.
I unscrewed it, dropped it, and then a few seconds later, there goes the fucking. And he grabs it and he goes, fucking flicks it at me. He goes, you son of a bitch. He goes, man. He goes, you better. He goes, you know what? He goes, easy fix. He goes, easy
fix. We're gonna put some fucking STP stop smoke.
Nah. We didn't.
We hope that shit.
Yeah, you know what we did? This is what we did, and this is what we did. My manager at that time, decades ago. So he's probably not even a manager for any of these places. He literally goes, easy fix. He goes, I'm gonna go tell the customer that we'll pay, that we're gonna comp this, and we'll give him a months of free oil changes and shit. Not with you, but with somebody else. And I was like, all right. I was like, all right, cool. And he goes, then we're gonna tell him that we're gonna cut your pay for this. He goes, I'm not gonna cut your pay. He goes, but I'm gonna fucking give you 2 days.
How fucked up is it that his manager was like, we're gonna give him free oil changes, but you're not even allowed to touch the free ones.
Yeah.
Let alone paying customers.
Yeah. So
you're basically fired, but I'm gonna keep paying your ass.
Yeah. So what happened was after that, after that, he goes, the customer, I put everything back on, fill it with oil. The manager comes out and drives it. Looks nothing cool. We literally pumped it with 2 quarts of 1030, and the rest of it was heavy 1540.
Jesus Christ.
So it was quiet. So quiet, dude.
Hot maple syrup.
But it was summertime at the time. It was summertime at the time, so it was quiet. It was super quiet.
It was.
Oh yeah.
The tolerance, nothing could move.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it was super quiet, and the manager drives it out, and he tells the customer, he goes, here you go, and it's running, and it fucking sounds quiet as fuck, and I'm just like, and he just looks at me, he goes, flips me off, and he goes, fucking lucky. And I was like, all right. Oh, I should have, right? That would have been even worse. So I literally just I walked back, and the manager's like, hey man, you got to sign all these papers and all this shit. And I go, all right. So I signed all this shit. And it was literally like me saying that, yes, I did it. And I am,
I'm the one that.
Yeah. And then they were like, and they deducted my pay, like a month and a half pay.
Damn.
Yeah. If not, dude, I would have had to fork out like $5,500 for a motor. And it was a North Star.
Oh, those are
So
terrible.
yeah. So like, and he
Ugh.
and it was just like whatever.
North Stars.
And like, so like after that, like I was still doing oil changes and shit. And then later on down the road, like I lived really far. So the manager was like, "Hey, I'm gonna transfer you to Deer Valley." He goes, "That's closer to your house." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I transferred
They're a
out.
lot less busy.
Yeah. So yeah. But that place ain't even around anymore.
We'd have to pay you to fuck something.
Yeah,
up.
that
Oh, we
place.
already did.
Yeah, but it was weird though because like that was like decades in the shit when I was like just fresh out of school, and it was crazy because hey, But then I worked for Brake Masters, did a bunch of brakes for a couple of years, and
They
yeah,
master
dude,
the art of braking.
just like you and your little Ford Focus.
Hey, man, let me tell
So.
you something. That thing stops on a dime.
All right, so are you a part of a club for the Ford Focus?
Yeah, it's AZRST. They also have Fast Motorsports, PHAST.
Fat
Fast.
PHAT
Fast.
PHAT
They're fast. They're all fast and furious.
So what made
PHU
you go from having classics, having almost hot rods, coming around hot rods? Your brother still has a hot rod.
Fuck yeah, he does.
You and your family would always get down on stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you go like slowly throughout the years? All right, cool. I'm then gonna get
into an economy car.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get a new car. Bam, down.
It basically broke down to I was driving my '66 F100 to and from Phoenix from Glendale to Avondale.
That's a lot of gas.
It was not only a lot of gas, but at the time it was also a lot of oil because that bitch would burn. I never had to change my oil because it would just burn it and I would just keep adding it. When I did the calculations between gas and oil, I was spending almost $700 a month to keep this fucker rolling. And I was like, hey, I could probably enjoy a brand new economy car, save a lot of money on gas and everything else, and then have money to throw towards the truck.
So what did you do with the truck?
I kept the truck at that time. And for a while, I kept dumping a little bit of money into it. I wound up getting my first economy car was like an 07 Focus. My dad had passed away. I'd gotten it in 07. My dad had passed away in 2010. My brother was already out of the house. We weren't really throwing too much money into my truck at that time because he was like, hey, you know what? You got yourself a car. You don't really want to have this truck. At the time, I really didn't like it that much. We did some things to it, but I really wanted another Nova or something like it. So I was saving up for another Nova. And as time went on, life changed. And then all of a sudden I pick up this 2013 Focus ST because I said, you know what? If I go from this cheap shit Focus ZX3 with like no horsepower at all, and I did some tuning and shit to it, but then I heard that they were going to bring the turbocharged model from Europe to the United States, and they were going to make the ST.
Yeah, but no matter what, dude, no matter how many times you hear that, it's fucking detuned.
I know.
Because over there,
but I could retune.
Yeah, and that's how they get you. It's a fucking
so
retune.
The attraction was at that point it was kind of like today's tuner / muscle, right? So I knew that I could make something pretty quick and I could have a shit ton of fun with it and kind of have the best of both worlds. I could have something modernized and I could have it quick. It has a turbo, although to this day, if you were to ask me what do you like better, the sound of a rowdy V8 or the sound of a turbo, I'm always going to pick a V8.
Oh yeah, it's like my homie.
Nothing beats that.
It's
shit.
Like our bearded beauty co-host is all about 3-wire. Got 3-wire that bitch. 350, a couple 3-wire. Only 3 wires. Boom, boom, good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, nobody does that. Here's a question, man. Here's a question. You've had the Ford, you've had some diesels, you had some fucking V8s.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel with the way technology is now when you got the Coyote coming in? You have the Coyote. Okay. But how do you think of the Coyote compared to the 302? Do you think it's like it's just a beefed up 302, or do you think it actually is its own?
It's got its own little animal inside of it, and I think where technology has gone now, especially with the new Coyote motors, it's kind of like the new LS, if you will. Now, it's still way cheaper to run Chevy shit. I mean, my friend and I.
When you total it together, you're spending like $9,000.
Depends on how you play your cards.
All right.
My friend, my buddy Nick and I have this. We have this joke where we say everything for a Chevy is $20. You know, he's like, oh shit, you need a new valve
it
cover?
includes a
Fucking
blowjob.
$20.
It includes a hand job
But
or a blowjob.
it does. And but what I will say is, you know, now it's nice to see that, you know, there is another option if you want it. I think the newer Coyotes are fantastic. I think it'd be badass to get that damn 66 truck back now that I've actually fallen in love with it over beyond the years and do a Coyote swap in it.
Let's back that bitch. Let's put that
Kind
bitch
of
on.
drop it a little.
Look, what we should
Get
do
some
is
handling going.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
get it.
Yeah.
But
Put a roll cage
the
in that bitch.
caveat is I love rowing my own gears. A lot of people hate it, especially in traffic, yada, yada, yada.
No, because it's you know how to drive it. You
Right.
know how to drive a stick, so yeah.
Right. I've driven, so even my Nova was a stick. My 66 F100 was a stick. The freaking first Ford Focus that I got in 07 was a stick. It was a 5-speed. This Focus ST that I have is a 6-speed fucking stick. So
with the clutch or with the slapstick?
Fuck the slapstick.
With
It's
an
a
actual
clutch, baby.
How much was that extra?
I don't sit down to pee.
I know,
No,
how
the
much was that
STs only came in a 6-speed stick.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I know that when I build my own fun vehicle, whether if I get another Nova or I get that damn 66 back, that truck, it's gonna be a stick all day long. I'm gonna row my own fucking gears.
Well, my convertible is 5-speed, so.
And I know they got that nice, like what I had in my
The sequential.
2019.
Yeah, the slapstick.
No. Like my F-150. I mean, yeah, you could do the slappy sticky, but you know, you have that 10-speed transmission, which I liked it. It was fantastic for cruising. Shitty for towing because it's always trying to find itself.
That's the bad part about it, you know.
But that's why I would row my own fucking gear. I would eliminate all problems and just row my own fucking gears, man. Because I'm a driver. Okay.
I could see you fucking hauling a load from here to like somewhere of
Fuck
like
yeah.
weird fucking animal
Just
parts.
fucking
weird animal parts, you know.
You know, fuck yeah.
Weird animal parts of some shit, some fucking college. Here's your fucking specimens.
Here's your fucking giraffe testicles that
Yeah.
weighed 2,500 pounds a piece.
Yeah,
You know,
and
like,
dissect them while you're hungover.
delivered by a
First
classic
hour.
Ford F-100 pickup truck.
Yeah.
You know, like fuck yeah, dude.
So with dude, fucking LS. Okay.
You still hung up on the
No,
LS?
because I'm gonna look.
Listen.
The Bearded Beauty did his fucking pickup truck, and he went and got a donor fucking Tahoe. Okay, with that already
Very
had it, you
popular.
know. Okay,
Very popular option.
okay, but it was a 4x4, so he had he got the sandal and harness, did all that,
All right,
still
all
fucking
right.
had problems to get it to fire up, got it to run.
You got to
Runs
get
like
the Holly EFI kit, man.
No, then he found out that it's some kind of like, you know, it's even with that. He even has that. He has the EFI kit. He has all that shit. He has everything that fucking went with it that he needed, and he just couldn't get somebody to tune it, and it also needed some fucking wire that pretty much needed another harness with the transmission plug.
Oh, okay.
Because he lost the gear.
Interesting.
Because it was a fucking
because I know the
4L60.
transmission has that big fat fucking
It was a 4L60E, but it didn't have that connected to it. So it's like,
beep, boop, beep.
but all the total in parts
Yeah.
was still almost
What kind of truck was
8,500. He put it in a Silverado.
All right. So
He
he
dumped
went
it in the
Chevy for
Silverado.
Chevy. He's not
Yeah.
gonna throw a fucking Coyote.
No, but he's still Chevy for Chevy. But an LS is like, to me, dude. I know they're popular. I know they're kind of easy. They don't
Bread and butter.
Yeah, you know, as long as you got the amount of money to throw at it, yeah. But you see them everywhere, man. Like, I get it, cool, they're easy, but fuck, man, it's just
think
like
it's also
I want to
because
see
they're
I
bulletproof.
want to see a 350. I want to see a 454. I want to see a 383 stroker. I want to see somebody beef up a 302. I want to see somebody take a 302 and almost get to the Coyote level, because you can do that. If people don't know that, like, you can take any motor and bore it over, as long as you take the correct measurements of each cylinder, check how much depth you have on each wall.
Yeah, you can build anything
Yeah,
you want.
but the thing is,
Absolutely.
it's always about the depth of each wall, dude.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, if they're fucking too thin, and you go to fucking hone it out, dude, you fucking rip right through that thing, put a hole in it.
I mean, realistically, if I were to get even that F100 back, right, and I do a Coyote swap, I don't think I'm going to do any sort of turbocharging or anything like that. I want a built motor. I want cams. I want crank. I want pistons.
You want potato.
I want potato.
See, everybody wants potato.
No, a lot of people are doing, because you could do like even a Coyote or an LS. You throw a fucking twin turbo setup and you run it at what, like 8 to 12 psi.
Oh yeah, and you're fucking
1,000 plus horsepower.
Oh yeah, like at least
And
88.
You're going full
9,
fucking retard down
8 or 9,
mile.
8 or 950 at least fucking.
And that's detuned.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. I love turbos and everything else, but nothing is better to me than like an old school, like what my brother had originally in his 72 Nova. He had a fucking 350 board. I think it was 30 over. Had a nice rowdy cam in it. Had the aluminum heads. Had the Holly freaking.
What up, Dan?
Dan Paz, what's
the
good,
homie.
baby?
That's one of my homies. He's got a mini truck that's
Oh, sick.
he wins a lot of lowrider car shows.
Hell
It's
yeah.
sick as fuck though. Yeah. He
Where was
just
I? Oh,
he's
yeah.
swapping out, yeah.
The
With the cam and stuff.
Oh yeah. So my brother had all this shit, had a whole Holly carb, Holly fucking intake kit, nice headers, Flowmaster exhaust. Flowmaster, by the way, I will live and die by saying
I have one.
every old school Chevy
Should
Ford
have a
don't give shit,
Flowmaster.
should always have a Flowmaster.
But the right one
You
where
gotta
it
get
sounds,
the Super 40 series for the small block Chevys.
But
'cause
where
they
it
give you that
sounds
nice bump,
Yeah.
that nice throaty fucking rah, 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 you know?
Yeah, but the thing is like a lot of people they're putting LSs. That's like I said, I want to see a 350. I want to see something small.
I like old school. I like carbureted.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Carbureted.
However, if so, okay, I'm wearing the shirt right now. Vice Grip Garage. Shout out to Derek who runs that shit.
Nice.
But
Hopefully we can have you on, Derek.
yeah, man, that'd be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Have him come out here and do
Oh,
that.
definitely.
So he had a giveaway for a 68 Nova. They did a Yanko tribute. It's not a true Yanko, but they did the nice
It's a
paint
clone,
scheme
yeah.
and it's a clone. They did a 6.0 swap. He has the Holly fucking system in it. They did it the right way. There's still little knick-knack paddywhacks here that you would want to do if you were to get the car.
If it's
but
done right,
it's done.
worth the
It's
money.
done. But here's the thing: he did a contest where he was giving away. Hence why I got the shirt, a keychain, and a fucking sticker because I got like 10 entries to win that bitch. And so I'm hoping that within the next day or two, I get this phone call that says, "Hey Johnny, you won that badass 68
That would be
Nova.
tight.
Come pick it
yeah.
up."
That's how everybody
And so,
thinks.
but that's what I'm saying. And the way they actually did this one, it almost sounded like an old school carbureted 350 V8. Like it had that nice.
Yeah, but you can do that. You can do that with the cam and then
Oh yeah.
and
Some
plug it
tuning
in,
and plug
tune it. Yeah,
in.
and then
They did all that.
you
They
know,
got
and
it
then
going.
retard the timing a little
They
bit.
hit I want to say 350 horse and matching torque. So it's not an astronomical number, but then again, it's also not super work. Like they didn't go internals with it. But it's got a nice set of headers. It's got the Flowmasters. It's got the Holly Demon fucking Resurrection kit in it. They tuned the shit out of it. They did good. And it's a beautiful car. You should see this. It's green with the flake. And oh my God.
So what do you like with you having your newer car
Yeah.
and then the LSs and everything? And how do you feel like with electric coming in and everybody doing electric swaps and you know, and fucking that one dude who's on YouTube and has the rat rod with the electric motor and there's a 50 sled that's all electric.
Mhm.
Like, you know, do you think that's going to be a phase or do you think we're going to, you know, start
No, it's going to
seeing that
evolve.
a little bit
It's going to evolve into that. But I think also because electric, for the most part, it's dying. And the reason being is because when you go overseas and you look at what China and Japan is already doing, they're already working on their hydrogen systems. Those engines are alive and well, and they're starting to go into their vehicles. And it's already actually been proven that when it comes to full electric, if you're just putzing around town and you get your full charge and you get your 200 miles out of your fucking Tesla or whatever you just built custom, that's fine. Your long distance shit really should be, if you're going to do anything with electric in it, should be a hybrid model to where you have electric assist. And then of course that'll get you your 60, 70 miles.
So like what would be like a Prius and a Nissan Leaf?
Yeah. Something like that. I think if you would do like a badass, let's say you want to take an old school muscle car type, like a Nova or a Chevy C10 or something like that, or even my 66 F100, you want to take it on some stupid long trip across America. You want to drive your ride. And if you had actually a badass setup that was actually hybrid, that could do maybe in those big heavy machines, 40, 50, 60 miles per gallon, just to be able to get somewhere and then switch it back to be like, okay, now I want you in full
all right,
race
so
mode.
here how's this
But
sound?
you got to worry about weight too.
How's this sound? Taking like a fucking 66 or like a crew cab or something, like a big old truck, and sticking like gutting a Prius and fucking shoving the guts of it. Like just taking the cluster.
I think it would push it.
No, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
taking that, but putting a bigger battery setup in it. Oh no, I'd push it. Those bitches,
well, it would just
fucking,
the batteries are heavy. You're
it's a
going to add a lot
Toyota,
of
so
weight.
it's like, it's a Toyota.
You're going to add a lot of weight. That's
But,
the only problem.
or like something like, like doing of that nature, like finding a pickup truck that would fit that size, or like a Tacoma, find a fucking Tacoma and shoving it inside of a Prius. All you're taking is the battery pack, the motor,
and the generator,
the motor that drives the wheels,
right,
and then part of the suspension if you need it. If not, just certain parts that would drive it that you can modify to an axle.
I mean, at that point, you're probably dumping so much money.
Oh yeah.
And cutting so much shit, and welding so much,
and that's
shit,
the point.
And fabricating. So
yes,
much shit.
And that's the badass part about it.
I mean, if you got time,
you got the money, right?
My dad used to always say, "Rest his soul." He's like, "If you got the money, you can do whatever the hell you want."
Yes, and you know what my dad told me? My dad told me, if you have a job, you can buy whatever you want.
Hey, my dad said that. Shit.
So I was like, cool.
Shout out to our pops.
Shout out to my pops. Also,
shit,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Dead dad team.
Team dad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So right now we're gonna take a commercial break.
Let's do a commercial.
And then we're gonna come back and we're continue to talk with Johnny, and we're gonna touch base on how he feels about 4 cylinders and Blueprint coming out with a LS 4-banger.
Oh shit!
All right. Yeah. All right, we are back.
We're back. You're gonna get some popularity. I'm gonna share it to my Facebook, and there's gonna be 900 million people that jump.
I know,
in.
right? So
We're
we're coming
gonna
back
like
right
it.
now with if you're tuning in, we're talking to a fellow comedian friend of mine, Johnny Jello, and this guy is in the cars and the comedy, and like tonight's episode is custom cars and comedy. So we're talking about a lot of vehicles he had, and we're also going to touch base of now, like I said, we're coming back with a big question: 4 cylinders.
4 cylinders.
Blueprint Motors came out with a Cavalier bottom end,
What?
like a 4-banger bottom end with
Shit.
the LS head, and a bunch of other goodies on the inside like pistons, fucking rockers, valves.
So they made it bulletproof.
So they made it, yeah, and it's pumping out some horsepower.
No shit.
Yeah. So here's the thing for me, those motors that they have in those midget cars.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to fucking take one of those because those things are fucking crazy on horsepower for like mini 4-bangers or like 3-bangers.
Right.
Those motors are fucking crazy fast. So I wouldn't mind trying to figure out how to modify and take a midget motor into like a mini truck or a custom car.
That'd be sick.
Because like you're running on so many cylinders, but it pumps out so much horsepower.
Yeah.
But to drive it on a daily,
Be tricky.
is it possible?
Yeah, that's one of those things.
That motor, you know what I mean?
That's one of those things actually that we were talking about earlier, the technology of computers and cars and motors and everything. that is one thing I will say that is the benefit of, doing your modern day fuel injected with computer systems and doing turbo systems and all that. You could still have a car that pushes, let's say, 1,000 horsepower, and you can fly
What up,
your ass
Ryan?
down the track. But
What
the
up,
other
Ryan?
thing, what up, Ryan? How you doing, man? But you could do the other side of it, which is you could still get groceries and not have to dig into the rowdiness of that vehicle.
Yeah, but yeah.
So something like the engine you're talking about, if you could have like just a nasty kind
just
of ratty engine that coulda, shoulda,
yeah,
little engine that could,
yeah.
but also take it to where like, oh shit, man, I just poured a big ass fucking mixing bowl full of Frosted Flakes and I'm out of fucking milk.
And I need to
and
go
I
in
need
the
to go
grocery
get some
car.
of that shit.
That's called the fast grocery getter. But like, dude, but those midget cars, those motors in those midget cars are pumping out the horsepower for the way their cylinder and the way they're setup mounted.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you can just harness that motor with that amount of torque and horsepower and shove it in and turn it into a daily somehow, you won't be able to drive it on pump gas. I know that. I know definitely you're not going to be driving that on pump gas.
That kind of screws up your whole theory of wanting it to be a daily.
Yeah, but still, like, find a way to make it run on pump gas. But like, still, like, that would be sick, dude. The horsepower in those things are fucking retarded. To go around a track,
yeah.
Picture fucking going down the straightaway, and then you open up the hood and it's the fucking slant little fucking, like. Looks like
that's
what kind
no
of
different than the early '90s Mustangs that had the 4 cylinders. They were actually industrial built bottom ends. They had great cranks and
the beginning of the Fox bodies,
right? And then
they were
you have the turbo systems that go into them nowadays. And those fuckers, you could drive it to and from the store if you want, or you can go to the racetrack.
Yeah.
You can run 11s,
on a 4, because those were fucking a 4-cylinder. They were
then
two,
you can
somethings.
just fucking drive home and still get like 15 to 20 miles per gallon.
My homie had one of those, and it was an automatic too, and it was a white one, and it was white with red interior.
Yeah, my buddy's got one actually too. Yeah,
my homie Roy had one, dude,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like, damn, dude, it was badass. And he was like, hey, I'm gonna sell it because he went off to the Air Force.
We call it the 4-stang, man.
It was sick, dude. It was sick.
Those are sick cars.
And everybody tells me now because of my Mazda, they go, if you can find one of those, just fucking take that motor, dude, and you're golden. And like, why? He goes, because those things were bulletproof and nobody knew it.
They didn't.
Knew it.
They didn't make enough power to hurt themselves.
But nobody knew it. Nobody knew that they were that bulletproof. That
pretty damn fuel efficient too.
Shit, it's like it was like an inline 6, but fucking like
a 4-banger.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know what they're doing now that I'm actually happy to see is getting back to like the EcoBoost motors. They are taking motors out of the STs, the RSs, or even if you have like some of the older Escapes that had those same 2.0 or 1.6 engines, and they're putting them in those old 90s Fox body Mustangs.
Yeah, because of the horsepower.
Pushing 400 horsepower out of them.
Yeah, because you can tune the fuck out of them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Tune the fuck out of those
Just
things.
like my ST right now. I have all the bolt-ons. I have a bigger turbo. I got it tuned by Adam Brunson with Tune Plus.
Okay, Tune Plus, hit us up. We'd like to fucking sit you guys in the chair.
It'd be a fun one to have some chair.
Hell yeah.
But
what are you running right now? A quarter mile?
I actually haven't brought it out there yet. No.
You got a turbo timer?
Part. Actually, my Cobb tuner can do a simulated quarter mile, and I just need to do it.
Do you have a turbo timer in there where like your motor stays running until your turbo cools down and it shuts it off? No, dude. I remember back in the day that was like the shit.
Yeah.
If somebody had a turbo, like you would hear like I remember walking up to somewhere and it was like a running car. I'm like, what the fuck? And I just hear the turbo. I was like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, like, there's nobody in there, and the dude comes like, hey man, why is your car running? Oh, I have my turbo timer. I was like, what's that? No. I was like, oh, it just keeps the motor running because so you don't fuck up your turbo. Yeah. He's like, cools it once your car cools down, your turbo cools down, and shuts your motor off. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you don't need them.
Those were popular back in the day.
These are, these EcoBoost motors are interesting because
somebody told me to try that.
Cooled, and then they have.
It's like a V-dub.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's like a V-dub got with Ford, and they banged out, and then they were like, all right, cool, this is our legitimate.
Well, they're running the Borg Warner from stock. They're running those small Borg Warner. That's what those EcoBoost turbos are. Those old
but what always goes out is that seal goes out. That center seal goes out, and then they flop so bad. Yeah. And it's like
I drove the shit out of my ST At 90,000 miles, that's when we actually did my I got it's the GTX was it the 2867R
Is yours all-wheel drive?
turbo? No, that's the RS.
So you're okay. Here's
That's the Focus RS.
okay. Here's the fucking question: would you ever go far as to modify it to find an all-wheel drive that's smashed in the front or T-bone?
Right.
Okay. Take the suspension out of it. Okay, and then turn yours into an all-wheel drive.
I've seen people do it. You can do it in the ST. It's a little bit of modification. It's not too bad.
Is it? It's more.
You have to. It's more the rear end because you have you have the drive shaft that goes through.
Okay.
And then you have.
But you're not cutting anything. You're more like bolting.
I think it's You could. I'm almost positive you could just bolt it because it's the same
chassis.
Same chassis. Yep. There might be a few things you may have to modify, but it ain't much.
Somebody told me it's like a sway bar or something
the whole rear has to be changed out because you have your whole,
But would you ever go that far to turn it into an all-wheel drive?
No, I actually want to keep my ST and then I want to get an RS
and then have an all-wheel drive.
That to be. And I almost had a line on one last year at about this time, and it would have been fucking fantastic if the cards would have played out right. My buddy had gotten this RS that had a salvage title, but when he checked everything was still perfectly in square. There was no reason that the insurance company just salvaged it.
You know why? You know why? Because the airbag went out, and some lady from some city
the airbags didn't even deploy. No, it was some weird passenger side fender. Something got hit.
Oh, a sensor went off, and
it was just stupid. It was stupidity. But I mean, it's
like an Audi.
He had put a brand new 2.3 in it. And he got it warmed up and tuned and had bolt-ons, had a nice sound system in it. The interior was so nice, and I just couldn't get it lined up right to make it happen. So that sucks. Otherwise, I would have enjoyed the shit out of having that too. But I mean, as far as suspension goes, I have suspension done on my car. I have BC Racing, the BR series coilovers.
How big of a drop you're running?
It's 2 in the back and 1.25, I think, in the front.
Have you ever checked clearance level on what you got from oil pans or anything?
Oh, yeah. I'm not smacking nothing.
No.
I'm good. The only thing I did smack was about 2 years ago, maybe 3. I was cruising down the 303. There was nobody else out there. I was coming home from my brother's house. It was like 3 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Pitch black.
Yeah.
I'm just cruising at like 75 miles an hour. And I happened to just look at my stereo for a split second to like change what XM channel I was on.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I feel my car go boom, and like it kind of shifted, and I was like, what the fuck? And I got a hold of it, and I got it straight, and I was like, okay, I got to know what the hell that was. So I pulled over,
and it was a person.
Allegedly, okay.
Allegedly,
there may or may not. This story may or may not be fact or opinion. Nobody actually knows.
Because coilovers for the win. I have them on the Beamer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but it's a Beamer.
So
and
Beamer.
No. I've owned a Beamer. I had a 325i. I bought it for $100, and it had that infamous. It had an infamous Honda rev, that. And I couldn't figure it out. And the person that I bought it from, him and his wife were going through a divorce, and it was like, "Hey, I got the title." No, hey, I got the title. So I got tired of playing fucking musical chairs, and I gave it back to him.
That's why you hate the freaking thing.
That's why I gave it back to him.
Oh,
it was sick as fuck, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little 325.
They're not bad rides, man.
Yeah,
but yeah. So anyway, I checked the car out first. I'm under there with my freaking flashlight, trying to and everything looks okay, other than my front bumper that I still have on there. It's got a little split and crack in the middle, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm alive, right?
It's low as fuck.
Yeah, low as fuck, boy.
Yeah, until fucking he hit something.
Right. That low life.
And Derek, I hope somebody signed you out, man. No, because sometimes if nobody signs him out, he just like on the loose, and then you get the silver alert going. And fucking horrible, bro. It's just,
He's one of them.
But I love him though. He's a president for the car club I'm hanging out with and petitioning for. So.
Good stuff.
That's like I asked you, like if you were ever a part of a car club. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I had my Nova, and my brother was a part of the Nova Club back then. But this was the early 2000s.
Now you got the SRT. They're the
AZRST.
AZRST.
Yeah, for Focus RSs and STs, and I have an ST.
And then now you're running coilovers. Would you ever do anything like on air? Because you know you can.
I've ridden in vehicles on air, and
Air Ride
some of them are
Technologies.
nice if you do it right. Yeah, they make an ST kit.
Air Ride Technologies, man, fucking they got some shit.
I think it's like $2,500.
Yep, and then you can sit there and fucking tune it while you're driving and racing. So
yeah,
they're still in the game.
I don't know. I've never personally wanted bags.
No. Maybe we'll convince you. You know,
maybe.
I'll pick you up in the convertible and we'll go hit some switches.
So if something like that. If
drag it down the freeway.
If it was a cruiser, and
we let him slide right now. It's the holidays. He's got family to see.
Listen, man. There's a time and place for bags. There's a time and place.
Don't worry, Dan. It's okay. He's cool. He's cool. All right.
If we're talking the early 2000s, when my brother also had an S10 that was very popular, S10 extended cab, we mini trucked it. It was beautiful. I wish I brought pictures today. We have some somewhere.
Wait a minute. What year?
It was like a fucking 99 or 98.
Oh, it's a rounded front. Yeah, I had that round fucking.
But he did like the billet front with it.
Nice.
We did the thing where we shaved all the handles. He had poppers. Hooked to a remote.
Would you ever shave your new car? They make a badass setup for that.
Yeah, the ST. Yeah, I would do.
They make a sick ass setup. ABS makes a really smooth setup.
I kind of had a goal you can bolt in. I wanted it to be an Auto X car, and I still plan for it to do that.
Fucking nice.
I'm just waiting on.
We need to find you a Ford Fiesta, bro.
So the Fiesta STs are the go-karts on wheels.
No, we need to find you like a 90s Fiesta.
If I'm going 90s, I want to get like the actual, and I know it would cost me $400,000 to find one, but like the actual Cosworth Escort.
No,
they cost a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
they're like
but to find one in the condition that you're looking for, yes. To find one that's in a project condition that you might be missing parts, might need to hunt down a couple things, or you might just have a total shit box on your hands that you got to rebuild from the ground up. But as long as the body's there, you're straight.
Anything I've ever owned has always just been a shit box. And even this car now,
even that car,
shit box.
The electric one is the new car is a fucking shit box.
No, I don't have an electric.
I
wanted to get one. I never got it. I wanted to just get a Tesla Model Y for the family because it made sense for like the route I take for work.
The
route my wife takes.
You would just put it on auto.
I would never buy gas, and like as far as charging it, it would have costed me. I did all the calculations. And fucking my calculations are a lot like Tony Stark.
You would be that one guy.
I would be that one guy that would profit off of making a fucking.
Really? So when you run out of juice, you would call your wife and bring the generator. So I would say,
bring me a bucket of electric. I'm fucking stranded at McDonald's right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Those fucking 90s. Those Dan goes. Those fucking 90s.
Wheels, yes. Hey, what you got against Dayton's, baby?
Dude, I had a set of 15x10s, 18s on my 71 Chevy, and people were like, "Damn!" I was like, I just loved them because they were wide and they looked sick on my Cheyenne. They were 71 Cheyenne, and it's tight because how they sat perfectly flush with the fender, dude. So it was like, it wasn't like where they stuck out.
Yeah. My Nova just had a set of fucking set of rally wheels, dude, and it just looked good.
With the Ford you have now, is there are they stock wheels or are you trying to go anything different?
It's sitting on the Ford Premium stocks, which actually looked a lot better in the later Model S.
Have you tried to see? So take the lug pattern, and then find the set in a fucking like another car, like another Ford.
They're just 108s.
Yeah, I know, but like in another like a badass Ford, like there could be a sick ass luxury Ford car out there that you like the wheels and you'd be like, hey, I want those on my car. As long as the pattern fits, it'll fucking fit right in.
So I had a set of wheels that unfortunately I had gotten rid of. They were actually so on there now is 18s. They're stock 18. The ones I had were actually a 17, so I could run a little thicker tire for my Auto X, and I should have never gotten rid of them. They were actually a set of Assettos that were bronze. It was lightweight, and I got rid of them to a buddy because at that time in my life, and this was only like maybe 4 years ago, I had to shift and focus to other things, and I had to immediately get some cash for the family. And I was like, okay, well, I have these absolutely mint, and I sold them for more than I'd gotten them for,
Okay.
which is good. Made a little bit of profit.
So here's the question:
Where are they now? No fucking
not
clue.
even. Here's the question: with having a family and being a dad,
Yeah.
are you trying to bring the car aspect with the family? Is the wife into it? You know, is she cool about it? You know, because there have been a lot of single drivers.
Yeah.
You know, like, is she okay with it? You know, like, are you gonna try to bring your son around it and be like, hey, have him hold a flashlight and give him PTSD?
I already told him he's gonna be a tool bitch. He's definitely gonna have PTSD.
You're just gonna give him PTSD from the flashlight.
He's gonna get a wrench thrown in his general direction.
So
whether
like
or not it hits
dodgeball.
him is dependent on how quick.
So like dodgeball, it's just gonna be.
He's got to warm up them reflexes real good. Okay, just like I did. Okay. He's going to learn a lot of new curse words. He's going to learn that you can mix them with a fucking blender and come up with something interesting. And he's probably going to get in trouble at school at some point because of it. So he's good with that.
So are you going to try to be like, does he like driving in the family? Like, is it the family car? Does the wife have a car?
Yeah, she's got her own car. She's got like a little Escape. You know, it's a nice little family cruiser.
What do you think of the Flex?
I like Flexes.
What up, Clint?
What up, Clint?
Dude, that fool's got a sick ass fucking 61 that he's repairing at the moment. It was mom's car, and then that fool used to work for McGuire's back in the day, and he's like totally fucking repairing it. It got fucking hit.
Ah,
yeah,
shit.
Dude, it was like, but picture a custom car getting hit. You know what I mean? Like the amount, yeah, but to have to fucking repaint the whole fucking car.
Yeah.
Because you can't match it. Like you can't sit there and like try to match a candy paint job.
Nope. One of a kind.
It's like every time.
That's the risk you take, unfortunately. My wife, she loves observing and checking it out. She thinks it's super cool. My brother is actually digging his Nova up from the grave right now. He's got a 72.
Nice.
We're going to have to do full interior, exterior restoration on it. And this will probably be about the second or third time that it's the third time we're doing a restore, but this is like the second time it's getting a full interior, exterior restoration. So
fuck yeah, dude.
It's going to be amazing. We're going to, we're sanding it down. It's going to have plenty of Bondo on it. It's going to
have plenty of Bondo. Shit.
It does not run at the moment. That's
going to
where
put LS.
He's got the LS. He's got the.
What did it have before?
Holly. He had a. So before this LS, he had a 383 stroker that somebody else built.
Does he still have it?
Right? No, he got rid of that shit. Something wasn't right. It just
so he got rid of it.
It never ran the way he liked, and that's probably because he never fucking built it.
Ah.
He'd always built motors for his own vehicles. Back when he had like a 78 Monte Carlo, built a motor for it. He had like a 70s Chevelle Laguna, built a motor for it. He had a 66 C10, fucking built a motor for it. So he's always been an engine builder.
And you've been like the parts and the
I've been
interior
the parts and tools bitch, and it took me 2.5 days to remove a seatbelt one time from a truck. We won't mention that, but
oh man, dude, they have classes about removing seatbelts.
I know that,
YouTube.
So here's the good news: is with me, I can at least look at stuff, and I've been around cars my whole life long enough to know what it's supposed to do, what its purpose is. Can I actually wrench? What are my skills?
But do you have a good team behind you of people that that you can be like, hey, I got, like you said, you mentioned your tuning guy, the guy that you have a good team around you, like a lot, like Josh Rowan, a friend of ours who has a Snooki. He has a sick ass Suburban with a twin turbo setup, fucking beautiful, fucking like, goddamn, dude, that thing is potato.
We have plenty of friends and family that are still around that know what they're doing.
But if you have a good team, dude, to help you like achieve the goal with your vehicle, then hey man, you may not wrench on it, but you're at least a part of it. Yes. And at least you can change the oil and maybe change a
I think with this Nova rebuild that we're gonna do now for my brother, I'm gonna take a huge leap into being very involved. And I'm really gonna try and I've talked to my brother about this already, and he's totally cool with it because he knows I've been around for every single build that we've done. And I really want to, increase my skill set with turning wrenches. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take, and I'm one of those people that I'm going to be very cautious, very meticulous. it always takes me the first time or two a little extra time than somebody else would.
Yeah,
to figure it out.
but the thing is, we
once
have
I figure
technology.
it out,
Yeah, once you figure it out,
I'm
but we
fucking
have
quicker
technology.
than the other guy.
Yeah, but we have
Oh
technology.
yeah, we have YouTube and all that shit. I mean,
yeah, but the thing is, it's not about that. It's just about that. Cool, you're gonna get the experience. You're gonna get hands on, but at the same time, with the hands on, go find a little motorcycle motor
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Something
Just
you
tear
could
it
start
apart,
off
rebuild
with.
it.
Yeah,
learn how to
because
fabricate a little better. I mean, I grew up too, not only with vehicles, but like I had go-karts, I had mini bikes, I had dirt bikes, I had quads and shit. And I used to always tinker with those things. I had, go-peds when those were popular. Your little 30cc,
yeah.
And dude, I used to take those things completely apart and do upgrades on them, like from the
but
piston
now
to
we
the
got
crank
computers.
to the blah 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 blah. Dude, now I got World of Warcraft, and I always forget to cancel my fucking subscription.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have a car that you can get hacked
and every
into.
single month, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to cancel it next month. That's all right. And then the next month comes, I still got to fucking cancel that. And then I cancel it, and then they come out with an expansion.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, I got to resubmit.
And then at the same time, how much money of that goes to car parts?
Lately, next to nothing.
Damn.
I have thrown a lot of money into my vehicles over time, and it's always been worth it. I've thrown a shit ton of money into my current Focus ST. I am a bit frugal.
Get after him.
I have bought
the club that he's hanging out with.
Hey, listen.
Get after him, guys.
I got to give a shout out to my boy that actually does all of the work on my ST.
Nice. See, like I said, you have a good crew.
Jesse Elston with Elston Auto Care. If you know where the 101 and Thunderbird is on the west side, you know where Haymaker is. His garage is behind Haymaker in the very back of the lot to the left.
Oh, okay.
And he and his crew have done everything to my Focus from top to bottom. So the turbo kit that's on there, all my bolt-ons that are on there, the downpipe, everything that's on.
Nice. So they're pretty much they're
the ones.
They're your build crew.
Yes, they're my guys.
Hell yeah, man. That's fucking awesome, man. Shout out to them for with his current build.
Yeah. And could be future ones too.
Nice.
I think if I go, he can work on anything. He's one of those people that is a car wizard. You can give him a make, model, and year, and he'll off the top of his freaking head tell you like 10 good things and 10 bad things about that damn vehicle. Just because he has that experience.
Yep.
He could be like, oh shit, a freaking Isuzu Rodeo, blah 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 blah, and you'd be like, who the hell even has a Isuzu Rodeo now?
No, but
he knows about it.
But I would have fucking killed for one, dude. my homie had one, and it had I'm gonna say it had like what would be an old school 305 in it.
Okay.
But it was like a whatever for that motor. It was like a fucking V8, but it was like, okay, it's in the Isuzu with a V8. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but it was like, all right, what would be literally like it was all GM. It's just
like
shit.
The people that would take like a Jeep CJ5 or CJ7
and then
throw a fucking V8 in there. I never personally saw a purpose for it because to me, the 6 cylinders that were in those Jeeps were purposeful for your day-to-day.
Bulletproof, bro.
Fuck yeah, and that's the other thing. So when we first moved to Arizona, damn near 30 years ago at this point, we had a buddy that came out from New York with us, and he had a Jeep. He still has it to this day, as a matter of fact. It's a CJ7, and dude, this is back before Arizona. Obviously, this is in the mid to late 90s before Arizona blew up and fucking expanded throughout their desert.
Yeah,
we're out there four-wheeling every single weekend, man.
Because the internet came.
Yeah,
the internet showed up.
Everybody
started videoing,
and
started showing all the honey holes, and
the fucking secrets out.
All the honey holes of all the badass spots. The 4x4, go to the lake, go to fucking.
Out in Scottsdale off of Dynamite Road and whatever. I mean, now that's all houses. I went there.
That used to be desert back in the day.
Yeah, like I went there legit probably about 15 years ago or so with one of my friends, and her grandma literally lives on one of the fucking roads that went like this naturally, that they still kept like this with pavement. And then the big berm that we used to take with a big fucking saguaro.
What is it?
And her grandma lives a quarter mile from where we used to fucking. And I'm like,
in
are
Fountain
you
Hills,
serious?
it's like that. Fountain Hills is like that a lot. You have the fucking roads where it's up and down like that.
But she literally lives in a spot where we used to four-wheel his Jeep and it was the first time I had actually seen a rattlesnake and a fucking tarantula. And,
Wow,
and so
tarantulas.
she's taking. I'm going to my friend's, grandma's house. She's taking me down this road, and I'm like, "What
Me
the
too.
fuck?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I used to fucking four-wheel here 15 years prior. What the fuck? Your grandma lives here now, and she got this big ass house,
yeah,
and this big
dude.
piece of property."
Trust me, man. It's like when
I'm like, I'm almost positive I still have a shoe print where your mom's or your fucking grandma's horse stable is.
Dude,
like, there's
trust me,
somewhere
dude.
I took a shit
that's
near a cactus.
how surprised
Probably petrified.
that's how surprised in El Mirage is. Like
The
new side, all the new
that's
side
where
is,
we used to ride quads and dirt bikes and shit back in the day.
where the Walmart is. There was
303
nothing
and the
there.
Walmart. Oh my god, dude. We used to fucking-
Grand. There was nothing there at all.
Nothing.
Nothing. No Walmart.
Nothing.
No fucking nothing. And then later on, the Walmart and the Bank of America at the corner of Grand. And then there was too many accidents. And then like later on, we're gonna put an overpass. And then we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then out of nowhere, they put an overpass. So it's like, but like there was nothing out there. I know how you feel. There's shit out there, and now there's a bunch of shit out there.
Driving on the pavement, and then you'd be able to go off the pavement, go down this big hill, go around this little trail, and then boom, you could actually see the fucking road here, but you were riding in the desert down below, and you had a big ass trail that went to like a little mini fucking lake whenever it rained.
So did
good
your
times.
mom and them? Did your dad and your mom ever get mad because you guys were like kept old cars or had old cars, or were they trying to like, hey, get a new car?
No, man. My dad was a firm believer, and so am I, in having a vehicle that is paid off. And yeah.
No fucking bills.
No fucking payment. The only thing you're paying on is your insurance and your maintenance. And that's actually how my ST is. I mean, it's been paid off for like 5 years at this point. Maybe
Shit,
longer.
I know somebody else trying to sell me her car for like $2,200.
No shit.
Like $22,000.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was like,
no, you don't want the payment. I mean, we have a payment on the family ride, the Escape that we have, which I hate that too. Like, I hate having a payment, but
you know how much fucking I think the Bearded Beauty, the co-host, pays fucking, like, he says it's expensive as fuck for a fucking like insurance and shit. I'm like, well, I'm like, a friend of mine, he pays $5 something,
and vehicles,
and he has it's a 2024 fucking Chevy Silverado, whatever.
My insurance is relatively,
and his shit is literally $535 a month.
Wow.
With $700 in insurance.
Jesus.
What up, Sean Patrick?
What up, man?
Oh shit, from Cali. What up, yo? Hell yeah, Cali in the house. So yeah.
No, my insurance isn't that much, luckily. I mean, we were paying maybe for 4 vehicles at the moment. I think we're paying maybe $400, close to $400. But we have like no tickets, no bullshit on our history or nothing like that. No accident, shit like that. Oh, dude, I knock up here because this is the big wooden brain that's up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot. I'm excited to expose. My son is 6. I'm gonna expose him to that Nova project with my brother. I'm excited for that. He's definitely gonna be passed down the torch for being tool bitch. And
all right.
The end of it.
Hell yeah, man. So where can they find you at? Where can everybody find you at?
Oh man, you just Google Johnny Jello when I come up, dude.
Yeah.
On my Instagram, my fucking website, my YouTubes, fucking.
You can find him at host
Host
OnlyFans. He has an OnlyFans.
Fans only.
Yeah, he also hosts a couple comedy shows.
Feet Finder. No, just kidding. I do stand-up comedy like this weekend for Friday the 13th. And also Saturday the 14th, I'll be at JP's Comedy Club, which is out in Gilbert, Arizona, off of Lindsay and Warner. It's right behind the CVS. And his building literally just says comedy. So
any other plugins where they can find you at? Like other than you can plug in.
If you just put Google, if you go into Google and type Johnny Jello, man, all my shit comes up. My Twitter, my Instagram, my website, johnnyjello.com.
So pretty much Google his name and everything pops out.
My fucking Steam account that I've had for 21 years.
Never heard of that. That's fucking old. That's just
I
what
still
it
play
says,
Counter-Strike,
dude. Oh,
World of
shit.
Warcraft.
So,
Hit me up.
you
dude.
can find them
We'll do
anywhere.
something. Anywhere.
So
You find me on Google Earth, dude.
Hell
You
yeah.
just find my big white fat ass.
So I want to thank Johnny for coming on. Thank you, Johnny, for fucking coming on
appreciate
tonight,
you,
man.
brother. Appreciate you.
And on behalf of me and Johnny and Lay Frame crew and the Bearded Beauty who's missing in action, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Hell yeah.
And tune in because we got a couple friends coming up from the north. So yeah, tune in for that next Thursday for the north. So
Up
yeah,
north.
up north. So all right,
Stay healthy, make some gains, go to the gym,
and drop some cars, lay some shit out,
drive some shit, man.
Yeah.
Let me know what you're driving.
Yes,
DM me on
we always
Instagram.
do. See, you can Instagram him,
I'll send
and
you
then at
pictures
the
of my
same
Ford
time,
Focus.
send us pictures. DM Lay Frame Podcast with your custom cars, and
Yeah.
you know what? You might be next on the seat if you have a badass ride.
Next
we
to
can
me,
talk. All
on
right.
my lap.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good night.